Alhamdulillah. So, welcome back to our discussion on this book, uh, just in India. So, I thought I could finish the discussion in one video. Was Allah, as to his scholar, made it in parts. So, where I stopped was where the Mirza was trying to use this Quranic verse from Surah to Al Imran as a support, as a proof for the fact that the Prophet Isa did not die, and that he did not die on it was put to the cross but did not die, and he later died in India, and he didn't get honor during his time in Israel, and it was in another country, India, precisely, that he got the honor, and he lived for 125 years and died. And the verse is wajihan fi dunya wal akhirati min al-muqarrabin, which I have explained according to the exegesis of the Quran. The scholars said wajihan, and he will be, that is this in if prophecy before, even before the birth of the Prophet Isa. This is a prophecy given to uh, 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 his mother. Allah said wajihan, and he will be honored. He will be wajih. That is, he will be honored. He will be honored in the sight of Allah. He will be a very very important individual, a person of the highest status. That is, he will be a messenger. Dunya wal akhirah, both in this world and in the hereafter. That is, it will be a messenger. And the scholars in the exegesis of the Quran, in commentary, the explanation of this verse, which is taken directly from the companions, who also took it from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it is said that wajihan fi dunya, like, that is dahu makanatun wa wijahatun fi dunya wal akhirah, fi dunya wa fil akhirah, ay yashfa'u li ummati kama yashfa'u sa'ir an-nabiyina li ummatihim. That is, is going to be a a person of the higher of a very high status in the in the world. Why in the world? That is going to be a prophet. And al akhirah, and on the day of judgment, that is, he will also have honor. He will be honored in this world, and in the on the day of judgment. And that means you will have the privilege to intercede for his people. That is the meaning, because you don't just take Quran to, even if you are not intending to manipulate or tamper, twist the meaning, just like Mr. Mirza did, was doing here. So even if you just want to interpret it because you understand Arabic, you'll be very very mistaken. And that is why we have several hadiths that says, one call of the Quran bi wa in asaba faqad aqta. Anyone who makes comments, make a commentary, or explain something about the Quran with his ra'i, with his intellect, not that he has the knowledge from the exegesis. He just uses intellect because he can speak Arabic. When in actor, even if he, or in asaba, even if he is correct, if he is he is correct, he is found, his commentary is correct. For God actor, he has actually been mistaken. He has actually made errors, because he didn't, because of the commentary is void of knowledge, is void of basis, is unfounded. It's just from his intellect, and that is why it's very crucial to take a commentary of the Quran from basis, from sources, which is Quran and Hadith, and the explanation of the companions, because the Quran is sent down with its commentary, with its interpretation. That is why this is very very important, and that is why we ask Mr. Gul Ahmad, where from the exegesis of the Quran, from the interpretation, from the companions' interpretation, from the Hadith, can we find the word that the claim which is said here, that is, this means that not only will Jesus have honor and eminence and enjoy greatness in the people's eyes, not in the people's eyes. The meaning is that he will be a honored individual by being made a prophet. That's the meaning. And while akhirah, in the day of judgment, he will be honored by intercession, by giving the privilege to intercede for his people, just like the Prophet ﷺ also will be given the greatest intercession, and he will ask us to pray or to seek wasila, ask him wasila, Allahumma rabba hadha da'wati tamma, Allahumma rabba hadhihi da'wati tamma wa salatu al-qa'imah, ati Muhammadan wasila wal fadila. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever asks wasila for him, he will be granted his intercession in the day of judgment. So that is just it. So, and the meaning of the Quran, the meaning of this is also in the verse, because Quran it makes commentary to itself within itself, and that is tafsir al-Quran bil Quran. That is commentary of the Quran by the Quran. We have tafsir al-Quran by Sunnah, commentary of the Quran by the Sunnah, which is the largest. So can find the commentary on a verse inside that same verse of certain statement inside of a statement inside the same verse, and you can find commentary to it in the same chapter, like the next verse, and you can find this in some other chapters. So now the next word statements explain this better. He said, "Wa minal muqarrabin," and we made among the chosen ones, among the closest people to Allah, and that is the messenger, the prophet. That is, he will be made a prophet. That's the meaning. That he will be honored in the eyes of people. No, not in the eyes of people. In fact, the chosen ones are not recognized. That is basically, majorly, chosen ones are not. I've already mentioned this in the first part, in the first part, like the part 1 of this video. So that is the meaning. So even the Bible, I will give you a quote from the Bible that you read. Jesus also said that a prophet is not honored in his own land. So because these honored people are not recognized, that is why even the Prophet Muhammad, I quoted I narrated a hadith that the woman did not even recognize the prophet. Did not even recognize him until she was told that it was the prophet you were tongue lashing, you were talking to like that, and she came to seek apology. So the Prophet said, in the sadamatil ula, patience is required, patience is wanted at the first encounter. So, because when she told the Prophet, leave me alone, what has happened to me has not happened to you. The Prophet didn't say anything, because he knew she didn't recognize him, because that is abdicated, because these people will not have special things, like they won't have special seats or special clothing or special what's it called, ride. So they are just humble and simple individuals, but they are honorable in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the same way righteous people used to be, unlike unlike even Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, who lived a very, very, in fact, enjoyable life, like which later turned to conflict, an internal conflict within, that eventually led to the splitting of the Ahmadiyya movement, from Ahmadiyya movement to the Lahori section and the Qadiani section, or something like that. So the Lahori section is spearheaded by Yusuf Ali. This is something I've already discussed in some earlier videos, like 2 years ago. So what I'm now trying to say now is, so I'm now so I want to proceed. So he said, on the contrary, he suffered great. I've already read this. So he said, so that he would be honored during his second time, so coming to this earth, is a groundless delusion, which is diametrically opposed to the scriptures of God's eternal law of nature. So to him, since people did not honor him, so now come back again as we are expecting. So to say now we now want to come and have the honor is very, very far from God's eternal law of nature. And we have explained that is the ignorance disturbing him. What is ignorant about this fact is that being honored is not at the sight of the people, even as Jesus also said in that Bible verse. I don't quote the Bible, I just have to quote it because this man loves to quote from the Bible, and he will do, because he was helpless. No evidences from the Quran to support his heresy, so he has to go and fetch evidence, fetch for things from other sources like the Bible, other other books. As I already showed in the earlier video, I was trying to put the description of the first video here down below, the what's it called, in the description section. So um so he said the truth is that Jesus, having escaped from those accursed people, grazed the land of the Punjab. Okay, I've already read this. Let me go to the next. So if you watch the earlier video, you know that I've already read this. So he said Jesus contained the exhortation to believe in the coming of another prophet. Okay, and since the teaching of Jesus contained the exhortation of, I've already read all of these. So he said Jesus was accorded great esteem and respect. Yeah, and respect in this land, that is where as according to his assumption, where he later moved to, that is in Kashmir in India. Recently, a coin has been discovered. All of this, I supposed to just skip them because it's just a waste of time. But I don't want somebody to say I skipped. He was just trying to say, okay, let me just give a brief explanation. He was just trying to say that even in India, just this man just tried to pick from here and pick from there just to make his. As I said, even this place that we called sanction for the Quranic proof is just like 1/3, or if not less. Is not even, let me just say 1/3 of these 7 pages out of this entire book. The 7 pages he was able to call the sanction of the proof from the Quranic point of view. Is not is also is not up to, let me say this section is not up to the proof from the Quran is not even up to 1/3 of this sanction, or let me just say is 1/3 of this sanction, because he has already discussed the biblical, his proof. He has already talked about his proofs. He has not brought his proofs from the biblical point of view in this section. Again, now he's talking about other historical evidences. He said a coin has been discovered in Punjab which bears the name Jesus, and another coin got the structure, it has the impression of a male figure, which can also be Jesus, and all of that. So let me just jump to a verse. He said elsewhere the Holy Quran says, this is another misconception, another misinformation, another misinterpretation, another manipulation. He said of the word of Allah. He said وَمُطَهِّرُكَ. He said elsewhere the Holy Quran says وَمُطَهِّرُكَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. He said, meaning that, O Jesus, I shall clear thee of these charges. I shall prove thy innocence, and shall clear thee of all accusations leveled against thee by the Jews and the Christians. Subhanallah. Is it tafsir or interpretation or translation of the verse? Even if it's tafsir, is it a founded tafsir? No, it's business. Let me translate it. He said, Allah says, and I'm going to purify you from those who have disbelieved. That's the meaning. But let me read from this. Let me read this. Let me read him first for bringing the Quranic explanation, the exegetical what's it called, the commentary from the Quranic exegesis. So he said this was indeed a great prophecy. The Jews alleged that Jesus, having been crucified, where is evidence? No evidence. Watch the first video. We are watching this now. No evidence. He said, having been crucified, he only got his evidences from the Bible, which he has already misunderstood. So, because no Christian will believe that Jesus, after being crucified, left the cross alive. It's you that want to come between the Christians and the Muslims. Muslims, as to the Quran, he just didn't get to the cross. The Christian, as to them, he just got to the cross and was crucified and died there. But you said he got to the cross, but didn't die, and was rescued and traveled to India, and from India you have now come to now be a replica of him to fulfill his second coming. Can you see? And since he has died naturally, he cannot come. His second coming cannot be from by his own essence. It will be by another person. So This is what he's trying to defend. So he now said, so after being crucified, became accursed, God forbid. And thus, he said this was indeed a great prophecy that Jews alleged that Jesus, having been crucified, became accursed, and thus forfeited the love of God. You know, according to the Bible, if you read something like this also, which is also one of the things that you can tell them that this is an evidence for you to believe, to discard the belief that Jesus was crucified. So he now wants to use the opportunity to say, how can Jesus be accursed and believed to be accursed? And he now said, so as the word cause applies, that and he said, and thus forfeited the love of God that Jesus had, as the word cause applies, was strangled and alienated from God, because since he's accursed, that his heart became enveloped in a thick veil of darkness, came to love evil and hate virtue, broke away from God, and was taught under the sway of the Satan, and that there was real animosity between him and God. The same charge of his being accursed was brought by Christians too. I've already said this, who have so naively tried to combine two contradictory views. On the one hand, they say that Jesus was the Son of God, and on the other hand, they call him accursed. Also, I've said that this is also one of the reasons to cast the belief that Jesus is because the Bible says Jesus is made accursed, and that is from Paul. So you see, this man is he's a tricky, very tricky person. So he said, what is more, they admit that one who is accursed is the son of darkness and of the devil, whether he is the devil himself. So these were the four charges, the foul, that is assumptions of words, allegations, charges brought against Jesus. The prophecy of the Holy Quran, however, points out that a time will come when God would clear Jesus of these charges, and this indeed is the time when this was to happen. Can you see? He now said that the meaning is trying to prove to explain the meaning of Wamutohiruka, and I will purify you, I will cleanse you, to mean that I will cleanse you from the allegation of being accursed. Subhanallah. But I am not amazed, because he is very, very ignorant about the meaning of the meaning of the Quran from the what's it called, from the tafsir, exegesis of the Quran, from the Muslim theologians. Unanimously, none of them said this. It's only from the mouth or book of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad that you will ever hear this. But what's the meaning of wajihan fi dunya? Allah said, the scholar said, Allah said here that I am going to take you away, I'm going to raise you up to heaven to leave the dirty people, the unbelieving people. I'm going to cleanse you, I'm going to take you up. That is the meaning. Because you just understand the Quran with us by mere reading. No, is either you understand it wrongly, or you do this has done. That is, you manipulate it. You use the meaning, take the meaning for another thing. And that's why Allah says, فِيهِمْ تَشَابِهَاتٍ فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ زَيْغٌ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ مَا تَشَابَهَ مِنْهُ. So those in whose heart is division, we follow the verses that are tashabah, that are similar, that looks like that can be confusing. That if you don't take them from the source, from the meaning from the sources, from the genuine sources, you get confused totally. So, but Allah clarified it. Allah said, none knows the ta'wil, none knows the meaning, none knows the explanation, none knows the exegesis illallah, except Allah. So Allah that knows the meaning gave the meaning to the Prophet Muhammad, who also passed it to the companions, who passed it to their students, until it is being documented in book of Tafasir. Where is this? Not to be found in the book of Tafasir. It's only in the book of Mr. Gulambot that the meaning of Mutahirika is to clean him from the cause, from the allegation of the Jews, which not even all of them believe. So so it's only for him. And even if it's all of them that believe, even if it's all of them who believe in this, it is none of our business in Islam. We already have the meaning. Allah raised him up. Many other verses explain this. I'm going to make you sleep and take you up. Or according to some explanation, it is تقديم وتأخير. That is إني رافعك إلي ومطهرك. I'm going to take you up to myself. ومتوفيك. إني رافعك إلي ومتوفيك. I'm going to take you up to myself and later on make you die when you come back to complete your mission. So going up with his soul and body is not a strange thing. Even in the Bible that you love to quote, people like Elijah went up, not only with their body, but also with access of fire, with horses. They didn't go alone. They even took other things, both living and non-living. So the testimony of the Holy Prophets has no doubt established the innocence of Jesus in the eyes of thoughtful people. For the Holy Prophet and the Holy Quran have both testified that the charges brought against Jesus are all unfounded. But these, I don't have anything to do with this. Even the Quran, even in the section that you claim to be for the Quran, you are discussing biblical topics, issues. But these evidences was too subtle and difficult for the common man to understand. Divine justice, therefore, required. What is divine justice? These manipulations. If you watch the earlier video, you know understand what it means here. Required that just as the crucifixion of Jesus was a known, objective, and tangible event, so should his innocence and exoneration be demonstrated objectively. I don't have anything to do with this. And this is what has actually come to pass. How? That he went to Punjab and died after living for 125 years? What a thief. The innocence of Jesus has not only been proven a priori, but also a posteriori. For hundreds of thousands of people have, with their own eyes, seen that the tomb of Jesus lies in Srinagar. Only you and your counterpart, only you and your folks, only you and your folk believe these, not well-grounded people.